So moving on to Moorfield Campground at Mesa Verde National Park. This is actually one of my favorite memories that I have from going with my husband on our trip across country. We were able to sit and watch the Perseid showers throughout the night. And I've actually used this as a grounding memory for whenever I've been really stressed out from bed calls. Moving on to libraries. This is a picture of my husband and I that we actually used to identify ourselves as official residents of Hickory. We packed up all of our stuff, signed our lease, moved some of it, and then took the U-Haul actually to the library to sign up as library patrons. We picked Hickory in part because of the resources that were available at the public library. They're a really awesome public library, and one of the cool things about living in Hickory is we're both a member of the city library as well as the Catawba County Library. There's me, San Francisco State. You can see me down at the very, very bottom. I actually studied at the J. Paul Leonard Library whenever I was on campus. I went to the Italian section, which is the Frank V. de Bellis collection, and then also the Maps Library. Both of those were on the 6th floor when I was there. And then I'd also go to the Harry D. Thiers Herbarium, which is the largest collection of fungi west of the Mississippi. I don't know where it is on the east of the Mississippi, but it was actually a really cool place to go study, and I got to know some of the really lonely graduate students that were there. So this is a picture of me geeking out at the NETC Library and the National Fire Academy. They have a collection that focuses on emergency management, and they have 3 librarians that are pretty awesome. So if you ever have a chance to go there, both to the National Fire Academy as well as the NETC Library, I highly recommend it. They are available also if you need information by internet or telephone. They'll answer some of the questions as well. So Kansas City Public Library we also went to on our trip across country. It's one of the most recognizable libraries due to its design, but also because it's a really cool library. While we were there, they had a lot of stuff that were for social workers, available for the homeless population, and they had information on other resources for the local population. This is from one of our trips to Charleston, which is where we got married. It's off of Johns Island Public Library, and they had information for the new Americans and Refugee Welcome Kits. I like to take pictures or learn what the different resources are available in the different communities, because they can give you an idea on what you may need for your local community as well. Some of those resources could include equipment for checkout, such as musical instruments or like baking stuff, maker spaces for designers, and other curated materials like these particular welcome kits. Moving on to museums. This is a picture of my husband and I with my mother at the High Museum of Art. We had actually gone down to the High Museum of Art to take my mother for one of the different exhibits that they had there. My husband and I have been down there quite a few times. It's in Atlanta, and it's actually the first place we went to when we were dating. My husband found his favorite piece of artwork there, and I enjoyed being able to explore that particular museum with my husband. This is me at the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum wearing a shirt from Gettysburg, actually, that I had gotten from one of my trips to the National Fire Academy. O'Keeffe specializes in watercolors, and she has her own, or got her own gallery pretty early on, which is pretty rare for female artists. I grew up loving her artwork because it was very vibrant and focused on flowers. But over time, you kind of get to understand that a lot of her stuff was related to different things as well. This is from when we were at the St. Louis Museum of Art, or Art Museum, also known as SLAM, in Missouri. This is a picture from the middle of the pandemic. We actually left and did a socially distanced visit because I needed a break from being on the truck. So P.A. Mondrian is pretty well known, just like Georgia O'Keeffe, and both of them are considered modern artists. However, they both are very different in their stuff. And then this picture is from the Columbia Museum of Art when we went to go see a Van Gogh exhibit right before the pandemic struck. His stuff is pretty awesome for me because it's a whole experience if you get a chance to go see any of his artwork, because it's very vibrant, and the paint itself it's almost like it's alive.